everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, Following By's Little Paw Prints in a Peaceful Morning and Quote. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. The morning arrived quietly, like a gentle whisper brushing against the windows. The sky outside held a pale blue glow, and the air felt cool and fresh, as if the world had just been washed clean overnight. I had barely opened my eyes when I heard the soft padding of tiny paws against the floor. It was By. He never barked to wake me. Instead, he waited patiently beside my bed, tail swaying like a slow, happy metronome. When I finally sat up, he lifted his head, eyes shining with quiet excitement, as if to say, "Good morning. I've been waiting for this moment." I reached down to rub behind his ears, and he leaned into my hand with complete trust. His fur was warm, still carrying the comfort of sleep. In that simple touch, the day already felt kinder. We stepped outside together. The world was still half asleep. Dew clung to blades of grass, sparkling like tiny glass beads. A distant rooster crowed somewhere beyond the houses. The road was empty, untouched by the rush of daily life. I walked ahead, then paused to make sure I was following. He never wandered far. Every few steps, he turned back, eyes soft and watchful, making sure we were still together. I followed his little paw prints across the damp ground. And somehow, that quiet walk felt more meaningful than any busy day ahead. By approached the morning like an explorer discovering a new world. He stopped to sniff a fallen leaf as if it held an important secret. He watched a butterfly drift past with intense concentration. When a breeze rustled the bushes, his ears perked up, alert yet curious. Nothing was rushed. Nothing was ignored. Everything mattered. I realized how differently we experience the world. Humans hurry. We measure time, chase schedules, and worry about what comes next. But By lived entirely in the present moment. When he found a small stick, he carried it proudly, tail wagging as though he had discovered treasure. He trotted toward me, placing it gently at my feet. His eyes shone with hope. I laughed softly. "Is this for me?" His tail wagged faster. I threw the stick lightly. He dashed after it with pure joy, kicking up tiny droplets of dew. When he returned, breath quick and happy, he leaned against my leg for a moment, sharing his triumph. We continued walking. A neighbor sweeping their yard smiled at us. An old bicycle passed slowly. The scent of morning cooking drifted through the air. Life was waking up around us, piece by piece. Yet By remained calm, grounded in simple happiness. He did not need excitement. He did not need noise. He only needed presence and companionship. At one point, he sat beside me as we rested under a small tree. He pressed his body lightly against my foot, not asking for anything, simply being there. I felt the steady rhythm of his breathing and noticed how peaceful my own heart felt in response. In that stillness, the world felt whole. As the sun rose higher, warm light spread across the path, turning the dew into fading sparkles. The quiet morning slowly transformed into the beginning of another busy day. Distant voices grew louder. Motorbikes hummed to life. Doors opened. Life resumed its familiar rhythm. I slowed his steps, sensing the change. He walked beside me now instead of ahead, matching my pace. Together, we turned toward home. Before entering the yard, he paused and looked back at the road we had just walked. His ears twitched, his eyes calm. It was as if he were storing the memory, the smells, the sounds, the gentle quiet, deep inside his small, loyal heart. Inside the house, he shook his fur lightly and curled up near the doorway, satisfied. The morning adventure was complete. No grand achievement. No dramatic event. Just time shared. Just steps walked together. Just peace. I poured a cup of tea and sat nearby, watching him drift into a comfortable rest. His breathing slowed. One paw twitched as if he were still chasing butterflies in his dreams. The house felt warmer. Not because of sunlight, but because of companionship. That peaceful morning walk had changed something subtle inside me. My thoughts felt lighter. My worries seemed less urgent. I felt more patient, more grounded, more aware of the quiet beauty that had always existed around me. All because I followed By. Following By through a peaceful morning reminds us that happiness is often hidden in the smallest moments. In today's fast-moving world, people rush from one responsibility to another, rarely pausing to notice the gentle beauty surrounding them. Yet animals like Bai live differently. They embrace the present, appreciate simple experiences, and find joy in companionship rather than complexity. This morning walk reflects how human-animal relationships can nurture emotional balance and kindness. When we spend time with animals, we slow down, soften our thoughts, and reconnect with empathy. Their loyalty teaches us trust. Their presence teaches us patience. Their quiet companionship reminds us that love does not require words. To bring these lessons into daily life, we can start by creating small moments of stillness, taking a slow walk, noticing nature, or simply sitting beside a pet without distraction. We can practice being fully present with loved ones rather than distracted by devices or worries. Caring for animals also encourages responsibility and compassion, strengthening our connection with all living beings. In learning to see the world through Bai's gentle eyes, we rediscover peace, gratitude, and the profound beauty of simply being together.